All right, we have New England this week. Obviously, they're the class of the NFL, have been for quite some time. Defensively, they rank first in the league in all the major categories. They've given up, 2 touchdowns. Uh, in the red zone, they lead the league. They've given up 1 touchdown, 1 field goal. They lead the league in turnovers with 22, I think, turnovers, 18 of those being interceptions. They're plus 14 as a team in takeaway giveaway. Um, of course, they're able to run the ball. They're able to throw the ball efficiently. Uh, Tom is as good as he ever has been. Special teams, they've blocked 2 punts for touchdowns. Uh, Offensively, they continue to put themselves in position to be successful. They get it to their playmakers, and they make the plays. We've got a tremendous challenge. Um, we've got to continue to try to get better each and every day to give ourselves a chance to compete with these guys. Um, you know, they are what you strive to be in this league, is consistent winners, uh, put themselves, play great complementary football, all 3 aspects of the game. And I've not mentioned anything about the coaching, and the coaching speaks for itself. Coach Belichick's a guy I've always admired in the way he conducts business, on the way he conducts his team, and the success has followed. Uh, so we got our work cut out for us. Tremendous challenge.
What kind of challenge do they present defensively with the different looks that they can throw out on offense, especially with the blitz looks?
Well, they're very much, they make sure you dot all your I's and cross all your T's from standpoint of protections. They're going to attack your protections in detail. They're very detail-oriented defense. They're very much play with passion. They get to the football. But assignment-wise, they don't miss many assignments. They make you beat them, which that's what you want to do as a defense. You want to make the offense continue to make plays, and they make you do that. They make you run several plays, and you have to do it with precision, or they're going to be there to make the play. They don't miss tackles. Their secondary is excellent in tackling. Their linebackers obviously are excellent tacklers, and they continue to get push up front. And they do, when they do call blitzes and pressures, they do a tremendous job of maintaining gap integrity, so you can't get out and run on them and things like that. So they do a good job across the board.
I think they've won their last 20 games against first or second year quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it can be tough for a young guy to play in the NFL no matter what defense he's facing, but is there something they do consistently to make things a little more confusing?
Well, they everything, when you start talking about quarterback play, everything's about putting pressure on the quarterback and making him make decisions before he's ready to make them. And they do an excellent job, the best in the league, of doing that. It was evident the other night that, they continued to put pressure on the quarterback, and that's the name of the game. And with defensive football is to cover guys. They challenge you. They play man coverage. They challenge you. They make you win one-on-one matchups, and then they get the ball out of the quarterback's hands as quick as possible from their pressures.
You mentioned Baker's focus on Monday. Obviously, last week was good physically for him to get the break. You think it was also just kind of a good time to mentally clear things out and refresh?
I think it was good for everybody, to kind of push the reset button from a standpoint and take a deep breath per se, and realize where we're at, and continue to try to get better moving forward. It was a great opportunity to press the reset button.
You went through all the numbers, and they're extremely impressive when you look at New England. The old cliche, the numbers don't always tell the story, but when you look at the film and you watch the Patriots on both sides of the ball, are they really as good as those numbers show them to be?
They are, and they're as good as their record indicates. You are what your record is, and they're 7-0. The numbers are one thing, but then when you put the tape on and you see how they're getting pressures, you see how they're getting sacks, you see how they're getting interceptions, all that kind of correlates. So, there's no weaknesses on that side of the ball. Offensively, they have several guys that can make the plays, and of course, you're dealing with probably the best quarterback of all time. So, and that's before you ever get to the coaching. And the best coaching in the National Football League history, probably. I mean, look at the Super Bowls. I mean, that's what you strive to do, is to be what they are on every level. I don't see many weaknesses anywhere there, probably in the whole state of Massachusetts.
If you look at those interceptions they've been able to create specifically, how have they been able to get so many? And then, we talk all the time about not committing those. If you're Baker, what does Baker have to be on top of, not being caught up in that?
First and foremost, we've got to take care of ourselves from the standpoint of not turning the ball over and giving them easy access to the football. And if we do that, we'll be okay. But they do a tremendous job of making the ball come out of the quarterback's hands before he's ready for it to come out. So you have to be precise with your routes. You have to be precise of your decision making. All the things that a quarterback is taught to do, they speed up that process for him very quickly. And that's what you strive to do defensively, is to affect the quarterback. And they've done a tremendous job of that, the best in the league. And he said something about the numbers are staggering. And they're more, to me, they're more than staggering. This is a record-breaking pace that they're on, and a pace that I don't know if ever be matched. So, listen, they're tremendous in all areas.
Freddie, have you made decisions on your offensive line, and would you share them with us, or are you going to wait for Sunday?
No, we'll wait till Sunday.
Have you decided what you're going to field up front?
Not yet.
If you do make changes on that line, is it, when you just, praise the Patriots to the skies and all this, is this the week to make those moves?
It's more about when we make changes, it's more about us than it is them. So I would say, that part of it doesn't matter.
I just meant because, you talked about cohesiveness and all that. I'm just saying maybe they're not going to be as cohesive after a change, and if you make it with all the sophisticated pass rush and all.
My job is to put those guys in good situations. Their job is to perform, whoever's out there. I think once we start leaning toward that and making sure we're doing our job in all areas, we'll be fine. So it's also my responsibility to make sure we've got the guys out on the field that give us the best chance of doing that. I never have said anything about possible changes. You guys have said that. So, or asked me those questions. Just because guys are taking different reps at different positions doesn't mean changes are being made. I just don't want you guys to get mad at me on Monday that, no change. Well, I thought changes were made. Well, hell, you're the ones that said it. I didn't say it,
You guys are, I think you're ranked like 30th in quarterback hits allowed, 16th in sacks allowed. I am curious where, because those numbers don't seem that bad. So I'm curious where you think or feel that you need improvement, or maybe where there is a weakness up front that might have you consider.
Like you're trying to ask the question differently, so I'll give you an answer.
I'm just asking if,
What do you think? You think he's trying to ask a different question to make me think it's a different question so I can answer the real question?
I'm just going to listen to you guys.
Yeah. And those numbers are staggering, all right? To me, those numbers are bad, all right, in saying that. But listen, to me, it doesn't matter what the numbers say. It matters about what our potential is. And our potential gets you beat, all right? I've said that since the summer. Potential, the only thing it does is gives you the opportunity to not reach it, okay? So those numbers are making changes and all that, that's still just potential, all right? And we could have the best guys out there, and if they're not playing to the best of their ability, that's just potential. And potential gets you beat. And that's what I'd say to that, that's the only thing I can say to that. I know you're trying to see if we're making changes just by
that make the situation not sound as bad as,
That's like
Okay. I think everyone knows that you just said they're a good tackling team defensively.
Tremendous.
Their top two tacklers are Jason McCourty and Jamie Collins. Both of those guys were starters here on an 0-16 team. Just, I know you weren't here, but speak to the way Belichick plugs guys in and gets the best out of them where they haven't succeeded maybe elsewhere.
You know, they've done a tremendous job throughout the years of doing that. So I know it's not a surprise to anyone anymore. And then it seems like when guys leave there, they're not as good as players as they were when they were there. So I think, you know, hats off to everything they do from an organization standpoint, certainly coaching, evaluating, every aspect. You know, they're kind of the staple of what you're shooting for from the standpoint of when you relay it to the success that they've had, is tremendous. I mean, you guys tell me a weakness that they have. They don't have any weaknesses. What would you say their weakness is? Place kicking. Well, for so many years they had one of the best. So let's cut that guy a little slack for just a couple weeks. I mean, but
Hey, Fred, you talked about New England and the record-setting numbers that they're putting up there, and how good of a team they are. How far off, when you look at your team, are you from the New England Patriots?
I don't even think in those terms. I just want us to play the best that we can play, from the standpoint of how we prepare today, how we prepare tomorrow, and then get to Sunday, and I want us to take what we've prepared and practiced for and take it to the game and see where we stand, and that's every week. It doesn't matter who we play from that standpoint. You know, we play who we play, but of course you've got to recognize the fact that you're going against somebody that's tremendous in all areas. Now, Tony said something about the place kicking. I'll go back. They've also blocked 2 kicks for a touchdown, so that kind of, you know, their special teams unit is pretty special too.
Going back to Jamie Collins real quick, because you were here with him last year, how well did you get to know him? What do you see from him on film now?
I think Jamie's a tremendous player. He makes a lot of tackles for him, makes a lot of plays for him. He scored a touchdown. You know, he's always around the football from the standpoint of if the ball's on the ground or in the air, he's going to make plays on the ball. He's an instinctive player. I mean, I can keep going on and on about, you know, Jamie as far as him being a football player, and I thought he was a good teammate.
I know they have a bunch of guys in that secondary that are playing well, but does Gilmore even stand out among that group of guys?
No doubt. I mean, he's one of the best in the league.
What makes him so good?
He's able to run with the guys. He's able to make plays on the ball. And the play's never over until the whistle blows. So they're going to attack the football, even when the ball's in the receiver's hands. You see so many times where the ball comes out after the catch, which ultimately, if you don't finish the catch, is an incomplete pass. So they do a tremendous job of attacking the football in the arms of the receivers.
Is it frustrating to see Collins playing like that for them? You guys cut him, and now he's, like you said, guys look better.
You know, every time I watch the tape, there's 11 guys that frustrate you because they're playing so well. But you know, Jamie's a good player for him.
Can watching the tape on them this week be the best lesson in attention to detail? I mean, you just look at them and it's almost like you're teaching something by showing it to, you know what I mean?
I think they do their job. I think everybody does their job. I think everybody takes pride in the fact that they do their job and they can trust each other to do their job. I think once you get to that point, of course your success goes up because your reliability goes up and your dependability goes up and your accountability goes up. So it all works hand in hand, and they're one of the best, or the best.
Something that that was passed down, maybe that do your job thing from Bill Parcells by any chance? Because I hear Bill Belichick say it all the time and you say it all the time.
You know, I think, you know, I learned it from Coach Parcells, yes, the statement, but really, if you simplify things, everybody has a job, and if they do the job, their job, your chances of success increases. Doesn't guarantee anything. You still have to play well, but you need to do your job. And you know, I know Coach Belichick was with Coach Parcells. You know, I don't really know where the came from initially, but I know that's where I got it from. Yes.
Freddie, Monday night, you know, the cameras and the mic caught Sam Darnold saying, "I'm seeing ghosts out there," which we kind of know what that means for a quarterback. How do you get your quarterback not to see ghosts during the course of the game against the Patriots?
Well, you strive every week to make your quarterback comfortable in the things you're calling. Try to make him comfortable in the things he sees and where his eyes go and things like that. But you know, they do New England does a tremendous job. I'm not going to comment too much on what was said there, but I know this. I know they do a tremendous job of affecting the quarterback, and you try to eliminate that as much as possible.
Are you, you know, you have a quarterback who can be a lightning rod at times. Are you concerned that that could happen to one of your players where they don't realize they're on camera, and that sometimes the vetting process might not be what you would hope it would be? I mean, is that something you talk to your guys about, or is it something you just have to?
No, I mean, I don't really know what the question is, Jake. I'm sorry, but you know, I don't ever want our players to seem like they're in a bad light, you know, but also want them to be themselves. And then you hope that they make good decisions. As far as what they say on the field, you know, I've got that's a whole nother discussion that, you know, with cameras and microphones and stuff like that, that it's probably not the time or place to have that conversation.
Have you ever been in that position where you're seeing ghosts, like when you played? Is it something that, and what is it, and what is it, how does it feel like explain to maybe somebody who hasn't played it? I mean,
Let me tell you about quarterbacks in the National Football League. They usually don't end up coaches, okay? And if they were any good at all, they probably aren't coaches, all right? No, I'm not like trying to like dig anybody other than the fact that I wasn't very good, all right? So when I woke up in the morning, I usually saw ghosts. If I knew I was practicing I usually just, hell, ask the coaches I played for, you know, just, I saw them. I don't know if it was ghosts I was seeing, but it was something other than my receiver. Usually I was seeing the other team's colors, because usually I threw more to them than I did mine.
Baker was fined for complaining about the officials, and then yesterday Odell complained about the uniform violations and things like that. Are you okay with those guys kind of speaking their mind that way, or would you prefer that maybe they don't do that?
I mean, you know, I like money, all right? So I'm not going to complain about the officials. If they want to give their money to the league, they can do it. I mean, but you know, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. It doesn't matter to me either way. I'd like for them to keep their money, but you know, I also like our guys to be passionate about what they're doing. So, you know, they have a decision to make, I guess.
Do you ever get concerned though that officials will hold it against a team that's kind of complaining publicly?
She's trying to get me fined now, right? You know, we try to control what we can control. That's it. You know, as long as those guys aren't hurting the team, you know, doesn't matter. My concern is the team, and I don't want them hurting their team with comments, and neither one of them has. So, as far as comments about officials and stuff like that, I'm going to stay away from that because I can't control the officials. I'm not in their meetings. I'm not in their pregame deals and all that kind of stuff. I just want to control our team from the standpoint of putting them in the best position to win.
After the bye week, you got players coming back. Would you say you're in the best health the team has been since the season started? Get rolling.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about that.
What about Randall? You got him back in practice?
He will be the only one not practicing today.
Any update on if you think you'll get him back this week?
It's kind of just a day-to-day thing.